All right. Good morning, everybody. How's it cracking? Hopefully everyone's doing well. Hold on. This audio is not correct. Of course. Immediately an issue. Hold on 1 second. Where we go? Hold on. Good morning, everybody. It's December 30th, but I think the music's a little too spicy this morning. So let's go ahead and... How is that possible? Oh, I see. All right, so interesting. Okay, so check it out. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. Let me remedy this right here. Oh, I see it. Very cool. All right, we're gonna need a little bit of help, maybe some mods for the audio. I've done something interesting where I've split the audio into what comes into my ear and what you guys hear, and unfortunately, it's I wasn't prepared. I wasn't prepared for what just happened. So let me go ahead and just do it this way, make it super easy. All right, how's that? I think that's pretty good. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the party. My name is Gerald Auger. Today is December 30th. It's Monday, 2024. This is episode 781 of Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. I am your host, and over the next hour, me, you, Daniel, Luke Canfield, first in chat, but on the drive, Alpha Sierra, good morning, Matthew Pelkey, Amish Runaway, Anita, I'm glad you're here. I took the weekend off. We will get you sorted out for the PBCC course. Brent Book, my man, Tom Bishop, the boot. Guys, we are all going to be shredding the top cybersecurity news stories of the day. I'll be giving my expert opinion and analysis on each of those stories on what it means to you as a practitioner. So how can you use this information to drive cyber risk reduction and realize positive gains for your business stakeholders? If you're a solo operator, this channel, this stream, this community is going to give you the opportunity to get locked and loaded as a professional, but also to have a virtual team of coworkers to bounce ideas off of, including Tom Bishop on the boot. My man, Tom Bishop, long-timer Tom Bishop. Guys, finally, if you are looking to break into the industry, you're going to get mad value here because, first of all, you're going to be asked in any job interview, how do you stay current? This right here, that I'm pointing to the thumb card there, chef's kiss. It's a good one. Second of all, you're going to get exposed to all sorts of concepts, terminology, etc. Here's the deal, y'all. Here's something that no one talks about. There's a lot of things people don't talk about, okay? Here's something no one talks about. You can study your face off and get Sec Plus. You can memorize a bunch of things. You could take classwork and learn what databases are, learn what networks are, learn what threat actor is, learn what malware is, the Morris worm, Code Red, Slammer, SQL, whatever. But if you don't understand how they all interact with each other, how one influences the other, how things change over time, that is where the meat is, and that's where the benefit is, and that's where this show is in this community. So settle in. We've got a banger of an episode for you. I promise you that. Now, before we get into it, you need to know a couple things. Number one, you see this story right here? First story, cyber firms Chrome extension hijacked to steal users' data. I didn't know about that until right now when I clicked on that tab. Me, you, Becky Gaylord, Daniel Harper, Valentino, none of us know what the stories are going to be coming up, including me. I didn't research any of this. We're rocking and rolling like a bunch of bosses because that's how we roll, okay? In cybersecurity, we don't get to be told in advance, like, you're going to have a cyber attack later today, so you might want to pack an extra lunch. No. We are responding, reacting, manning the wall. So that's how I operate with this show as well. Now, before we get into it, let me give a shout out and holler to stream sponsors, including one incident response firm that absolutely dominates, Barricade Cyber. Guys, many of you know Barricade Cyber. They even have an emote in chat, which is super cool. Shout out to Jess Bishop, who was the one who suggested that years ago. Barricade Cyber Solutions is dedicated to helping businesses from cyber attacks and recover from the damage done. Now, cyber attacks, they can cause massive issues for businesses and send dedicated, hardworking business owners into turmoil. But you know what? Barricade Cyber Solutions knows how to mitigate the damage done by cyber incidents. Believe that. They can help you with your recovery process, from assessment to extortion negotiation, ransom settlement, and decrypt and recover. go to barricadecyber.com. Links in the description below. Let them help you deal with what will arguably the worst day of your professional career if it's your first cyber incident. Ew, disgusting. All right, I also want to say shout out to Antisyphon Training. Now check this out. We've only got 2 sponsor reads today. It's the end of the year. Threat Locker, not sponsoring this week. Delete Me, not sponsoring this week. So we're going to be short and sweet. Let's do 30 seconds with Antisyphon, Zach Hill, Kathy Chambers, Daniel Lowry. And once we do that, all of us are off and running on a Freestyle Monday. Do you want cutting-edge, high-quality cybersecurity education, regardless of financial position? Check this out. I want to give some love and some praise to Antisyphon Training, powered by Black Hills Information Security. Antisyphon Training is absolutely disrupting the traditional cybersecurity training industry by providing high-quality, cutting-edge education to everyone, regardless of financial position. They bring industry professionals with years and years of experience into the classroom to teach you and anyone else who's interested practical skills that are in demand in the market today. And on top of that, the student experience is amazing as you and hundreds or thousands in some instances of other students are actively engaging, networking, sharing tips, tricks, and experiences with each other all live in the classroom. Go to antisyphontraining.com, check out their course calendar to see what course. All right, thank you so much, Antisyphon. Go to antisyphontraining.com, like they said in the video. All about good times. All right, we got a special one for you guys. I don't know what's going to happen today. We are going to do what we need to do, but we could have some fun today too. Can I just really quickly say what's up to Zemith? Squad member, 12 months. Welcome, Blue Badge. Looking good on you. Alana Boyajian. Yes, sir. Good to see you, Alana. Guys, hey, check it out. Let me tell you something really quick. I don't know about you. Let me know if this vibes with you. This weekend, there was like NFL games on Saturday. I was in a malaise. I didn't know. I really, really took the weekend off. I haven't done that in so long. And guys, like I didn't know if it was like day or night. I didn't know. Like I didn't even leave the house all weekend. I just made a ton of food. We were not heathens, but like really enjoying life this weekend. It was all about good times. I hope you equally did and kind of lost track of time. Ooh, it was a good one. DJ Bisek, 29 months, squad member. Good to see you. All right, guys. Every single episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief, including this one, is worth 1/2 of a CPE. So say what's up in chat. Grab a screenshot. Hashtag Team SC if you're feeling it. Thank you, Amish Runaway. Definitely much needed break. Good morning, Space Tacos. Good to see you. 19 months to the community. Remember, it is Monday, which means it's Simply Cyber's Community Member of the Week, presented by Threat Locker. We'll be doing that at the mid-roll, spending a little bit of extra time with this individual since we don't have the ad reads. We are going to do the full Simple Minds. Don't you forget about me. Do me a favor, everybody. Sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over us in an awesome wave. Before we go anywhere, Fleetus Poston the third, dropping 20 gifted subs.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Space Tacos gifting 10 gifted subs.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Oh my God. So many gifted subs. Welcome, everybody. Get your Oprah emotes on. You get a squad membership. You get a squad membership. Very nice. Thank you so much, Fleetus. Thank you so much, Space Tacos. Adrian, it's all gravy, baby. All right, let's get to the news. Do our work.
From the CISO series, it's Cybersecurity Headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Monday, December 30th, 2024. I'm Steve Prentice.
Steve Prentice.
Cybersecurity company's Chrome extension hijacked for data theft. Cyberhaven is a data loss prevention company based in Palo Alto. On December 24th, it suffered a breach as a result of a, quote, successful phishing attack on an administrator account for the Google Chrome store, end quote. This resulted in at least 5 Chrome extensions being compromised by threat actors who injected information stealer code through a malicious version of the Cyberhaven extension. Cyberhaven's customers include Snowflake, Motorola, Canon, Reddit, and AmeriHealth, as well as many others. The company's internal security team removed the malicious package within an hour of detection.
Wow. All right. So I got to tell you guys, like, this sucks. You're a company called Cyberhaven, and all you do is data loss prevention, and you literally had a compromise resulting in data loss. Ew, so gross. Now, an administrator fell for a fish on Christmas Eve, and an administrator account for the Google Chrome store. So I guess I don't know how Chrome extensions work if you're a developer of one and you push it, but obviously you have to have some type of interaction with the store in order to publish, push updates, et cetera, et cetera. Someone fell for a fish on that with their administrator account. Now, I do want to say, first of all, technically best practices would be not to use your administrator account. Like, you shouldn't be checking email with an administrator account. Now, they could have gotten a phishing email that said, oh, there's a problem with your Google Chrome extension. It's going to be removed from the Google Play Store unless you fix it. And then, push them to a landing page that looked realistic and told them to log in with their administrator account. So we can't just throw this person under the bus. That beeping is brutal. How do we, computer, how do I turn the volume down on this thing? I'll have to get to the bottom of that. It definitely has to do with the gifted subs. So it is possible, even if you had best practices, for this attack to work. Now, obviously, end user awareness training would have been a great tool here to keep this individual from falling for this. Secondly, like basically email security gateway to prevent the email from even being delivered. Firewalls, maybe some type of DNS kind of resolution where the landing need to turn that off on stream elements. Okay, let's do that. 1 second. Let me do this because this is a problem. 1 second. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll give you a topic. Dr. Pepper, not Dr. Nora Pepper. Discuss. All right, hold on 1 second. Let me do this. Overlay. Is it overlays? BSEC elements. Super chat dynamics. I think that's it. Okay, hold on 1 second. I don't know how to do this. You're gonna get to watch me fail in real time. Is it this one? Bro. I think it is. Fleetus, you've hacked the stream. Fleetus and Space Tacos hacked the stream. Let's go. Oh my god, is there a better way to do this? I don't even know which one it is. Computer. This will not be covered in my PBCC course next week. All right, we're just gonna have to roll through it. I don't know. The thing is, here's the reality. Okay, look at this. This is what the problem is. Okay, when you're moving fast and breaking things, you create all sorts of things. So like, I have a bunch of these that really should be cleaned up, but it's me like tinkering and ideating and then not fixing things and not deleting them and keeping them super clean. So I don't know if it's this one. I don't know if it's this one. So please grant me grace on dealing with this. Mute alert box in OBS. We could try that. Also don't know which. Oh, there it is. Can you do that? Computer? Hold on 1 second. Okay, so fortunately, we have successfully done that. So we've gone. All right. Long story short, there's a lot of different controls that could have been put in place along the way to have prevented this. This is a massive breach. Now, I want to say another thing is, listen, this is a perfect example for individuals to understand that there's left and right of boom. Okay. A lot of people get their head wrapped around left of boom, meaning pre-incident. Okay. James McQuiggan, 24 months. Thanks for being here. 2 years, my man. Listen, here's the deal. If you think that cybersecurity is just putting controls in place, you're missing a big piece of it. Okay. email security gateway, end user awareness training, DNS resolution verification using some type of DNS resolver that checks for malicious domains. All of those could have helped prevent this attack from happening. But the attack did happen, and Cyberhaven was able to basically fix the problem within 1 hour. That means that they had great right of boom. Bad happens. They detected it. They identified the issue. They resolved it and recovered to a known good state, all in less than an hour. To me, that sucks that they got hit, but it is a testament to their incident response to be able to have recovered right so quickly. So anyways, shout out to Cyberhaven. Sucky situation, but they handled it pretty well.
Hackers steal Zag customer credit cards in third-party breach. The Utah-based manufacturer of consumer electronics accessories, including screen protectors, phone cases, keyboards, and power banks, is informing customers that, quote, their credit card data has been exposed to unauthorized individuals after hackers compromised a third-party application provided by the company's e-commerce provider, BigCommerce, end quote. In this incident, which occurred between October 26th and November 7th, the attacker breached the FreshClick app provided by BigCommerce and injected malicious code that stole shoppers' card details. FreshClick is a third-party app not built by BigCommerce, but which helps create applications and responsive websites for the BigCommerce platform.
All right. I love this name. I don't know why, but BigCommerce. It makes me think of like Big Pharma, Big Agro, you know what I mean? Like, it just, I don't know. It sounds ominous and very like capitalism-ish. So Zag is a consumer electronics accessory maker known for mobile accessories like screen protectors. So physical things, phone cases, power banks, etc. By the way, I love power banks, but why is it that like every other power bank explodes or melts or catches fire? Like, can we not get that technology right? The attacker breached FreshClicks and injected malicious code to steal credit card. Guys, I don't know if you're picking up on this, but that's 2 stories in a row where like basically the threat actors seamlessly hack in and drop some JavaScript or, basically they inject code into it. So this is a Trojan. If you're looking for an example, of Trojanized software or malware, right? You hear, again, this is one of those ones where you hear that term in a classroom or you learned it for Security Plus and you're like, right, Trojan, done. You're like, okay, worm, virus, Trojan, okay, right, we get it. This is a Trojan. Basically, this code will allow you to still make a transaction. You'll still be able to go online and purchase a phone case for your loved one that has a Magikarp, graphic on it if you're into the Pokemon universe, okay? And then iPhone 16, slap it on there. Everybody wins. You are none the wiser because you're getting your Magikarp phone case. The electronic company, Zag in this case or whatever, they get paid their money for their transaction. And then the threat actor gets a copy of your deets, your credit card information. So you see what I'm saying? Like, this is a Trojan. It's perfect. And hopefully they can go a long time without getting caught. That's what they're hoping for. Now, obviously, there's logs to indicate unusual logins. There's logs, hopefully, for unusual code commits to the code base into production, which would obviously stand out. I don't know if you're auditing your code, right? Like doing diffs to see like what actually was added. Because like you can just have an audit log that says like, Casually Joseph committed code to production at 11:59 p.m. last night. You're like, whoa, that's weird. But you can go one step further and do a diff between prod and, basically the last instance of prod. And when you do that diff, basically the malware is just going to be screaming like a flaming boil or something like that if you want to take it to medieval times. So that's what's up with that. Obviously, if you handle credit card information, if you are working with at a company that develops their own type of code to handle processing of credit cards, this is totally in your wheelhouse. I would say this story really applies to retail industry and big tech potentially. Fortunately, there's a lot of SaaS providers out there, like Square is a major one. PayPal, Venmo. There's a ton of these SaaS providers that basically compartmentalize the credit card transaction process, and they have all of the controls in place to detect and prevent stuff like this from happening. So I would say if you can, outsource it, but if you have to develop it in-house, then for sure make sure you're doing these things. Anyways, really sucks. Again, you and I are both the victims here because you and I are the ones who have to get our credit cards reissued. And by the way, I don't know about you guys. I know some people out there, like, this is a bit of an editorial, but like, come on, we aren't running 4 ads today. So bit of an editorial. Like, I have 2 credit cards. One's the main one and one's the backup one, basically, right? I don't know about you. I know some people like to play the game where they have like 35 credit cards and they're like, "Ooh, this one's for flights and this one's for gas." And I'm gaming the system, right? That's awesome. I just don't have time to deal with that. But here's the thing. If one of the credit cards gets compromised and basically the bank terminates that card and reissues it, it's just super pain in the A, right? Any automated monthly recurring bills that you've got set up, that you got to go touch all those. That sucks. Like your streaming services or whatever. If you were about to travel, good luck with that. I hope you have cash or your backup credit card, etc. So anyways, when your credit card gets compromised, it does suck for the business, but it really sucks for the end users. And again, we are usually the victims of these data breaches. Yep, virtual cards for the win. I will tell you, I think it's privacy.com. They allow you to basically create credit card numbers that are virtual, and you can use them single transactions and stuff. It basically obfuscates your credit card from actual online transactions. That's pretty dope, but it's a service you have to pay for, etc. All right.
Volkswagen software company Cariad suffers Amazon cloud breach. The breach, discovered by Europe's largest ethical hacker association, CCC, revealed that sensitive information for 800,000 electric vehicles from brands such as Audi, Volkswagen, and Skoda were left exposed on a, quote, poorly secured and misconfigured Amazon cloud storage system, end quote. The data stolen includes GPS coordinates, battery charge levels, and other vehicle status details, but experts warn that such data can be easily, quote, connected to owners' personal credentials thanks to additional data accessible through VW Group's online services, end quote. The data had been vulnerable for months. However, a Cariad representative said that, quote, the exposed data affected only vehicles connected to the internet and which had been registered for online services, end quote. The representative continued, saying, quote, that the data could only be accessed after bypassing several security mechanisms that required significant time and technical expertise, end quote. An investigation by the German magazine Spiegel shows that the list of affected customers includes German politicians, entrepreneurs, the entire fleet of the Hamburg police force, and even suspected intelligence service employees.
Oh. All right, couple things. This is just coming in right now. That there is a free tier at privacy.com for the credit cards, and you can create up to 12 new cards per month. There is a 3% fee on foreign transactions, but this is a really cool personal privacy, personal, risk management type thing if you wanted to. Obviously, it gets tricky if you're sharing cards like with your spouse or whatever. But anyways, definitely recommend it. I've never used it personally, but I've seen multiple people use it over the years with various success. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. Let me break down this story right here. So a couple things. One, they said in the story that this data was only accessible with like multiple controls you got to bypass, etc. Yet at the same time, the Chaos Computer Club, the largest organization of ethical hackers in Europe, is the one that notified them, and they said terabytes of data in an Amazon cloud storage, so an S3 bucket, unprotected for months, allowing anyone with little technical knowledge to track drivers' movements. So there's a there is a disconnect here between what the story is reporting about how hard it would be to access this and what it actually was. Now, it does not say that this was a misconfigured leaky S3 bucket, meaning that basically it was open to the world. But it sounds like that. I mean, little technical knowledge to get this information. Amazon cloud storage. So I don't know. There's no details on this, but terabytes of data is a lot of data. Now, you might be thinking, what's the big deal? Like if you know where I'm driving and everything like that. Here's the problem. Here's a big problem, okay? Number one, think about the data, right? If you think, and I'm not calling anyone simple-minded here, but like if you just briefly think like, oh, it's just car driving data. Who cares if you know that I went to Ye Old Ice Cream Shop or, you know, Wegmans, right? Right? Who cares? Well, here's the problem. First of all, where do we take our car? We take our car oftentimes to the places we frequent. Here's where my house is. Here's where I work. Here's where I go to the gym. Here's a place that I visit that's like nowhere near my family or whatever that like I'm trying to keep a secret, right? Like this information becomes available. Once you have that information, you can do a couple things if you're a threat actor. Number one, pop it in Google Maps. Let's see where you live. Oh, you live in a really, really nice house in a super exclusive neighborhood? You know what that sounds like to me?
Straight cash, homie.
You sound like a juicy target. Oh, I see you're driving here, here, and here. And you go to this like really obscure place too. You know what? That sounds like something I could extort you on because maybe you don't want people to know. Finally, like let's tie this to the fact that like you regularly go to the state house or you regularly go to police headquarters, okay? Well, now I think, oh, you're either a politician, law enforcement. Let's follow you home. Let's see where you frequent. Now you have a personal safety concern, right? Oh, I know where you live. I know where you sleep, right? I can drop on Google Earth and walk right up to your front door. I can start harassing you. So there's a lot of impact from something that's so banal appearing as someone's driving history, okay? Now, I also want to point out what really sucks too is like me and you and Josh Mason, Casually Joseph, Triple D, like we aren't really using this information, right? So like our car is capturing exactly where we are and transmitting that telemetry to be captured by Volkswagen or Tesla or whoever. And we don't ask for it. We also cannot opt out of it. And to me, that's a really big problem, right? Like think about all the impact and all the risk that a police officer is taking on just by driving their car. And they have no option to mitigate this risk down aside from basically in the world of risk, there's 4 ways to deal with it: risk mitigation, risk acceptance, risk avoidance, and risk transference. The only way to really deal with this is risk avoidance or risk acceptance. You either accept that you can't do anything about this and this information's out there and you have to pray that the car manufacturers have great security, or risk avoidance, you buy a 1970s Stingray Corvette that doesn't have any of this technology in it and you just ride dirty, right? You're not going to get heated seats. You're not going to get GPS built into the dashboard. You're not going to get any of that jazz, but you're also not going to be tracked and then have your data compromised. Good luck, though, living in our modern society without that. And on top of that, a lot of the people I'm telling you about, the ones that are at the greatest risk, law enforcement, politicians, for better or worse, they're typically issued vehicles. They don't even get to choose. It's like, here's your car. Like, you can drive your own car, I guess, to and from work, but like, if here's your car, right? Plus, like, really, I mean, anyways, all right, so that's the deal. Also, quick shout out. Welcome to the History Channel, the Chaos Computer Club. They are super OG. Basically, They are like Europe's OG hacker collective. Like, I'm telling you, like, I remember in like the mid 90s learning about Chaos Computer Club. Triple C, it's commonly referred to. Casually Joseph mentioned it in chat. They're kind of like the Cult of the Dead Cow, which was like the American kind of variant of Chaos Computer Club. But yeah, this is like super, super legit, super OG. It's good to know that they were ethical hackers. I thought that they were much more basically like the movie hackers. Like, oh, our only crime is curiosity kind of thing. All right, let's go.
4Faith routers exposed to new exploit due to default credentials. According to researchers at VulnCheck, this is a high-severity flaw, being an operating system command injection bug affecting router models F3X24 and F3X36. With a CVE number and a CVSS score of 7.2, the researchers say this vulnerability has come under active exploitation in the wild. However, the exploit only works if the attackers successfully authenticate themselves or if the router's default credentials have not been changed. 4Faith, spelled FOUR-FAITH, is a Beijing-based manufacturer of wireless communication technology, 5G, and AI.
Wow, hold on. Quick shout out to Doris Shot News, blue badge, I might add. But Doris, I haven't seen you in a minute. It's great to see you in chat. Maybe you've just been Team Lurker, but yeah, it's wicked good to see you. Like literally, it's been a minute. And if I'm not mistaken, Doris, not to dox you, but Doris is Germany, so bringing that kind of Germany, European, EU mindset and vibes to us. Good to see you, Doris. All right, so 15,000 routers exposed to exploit due to default cred. Carl, come on, guys. What are we doing here? Like, default creds. Mirai botnet attacks default creds, okay? It only works if the remote attacker is able to successfully authenticate themselves. So if you have default creds, you're hosed. Guys, here's the TLDR. All right, I'm not even going to spend time on this story. When you get technology, change the default password. Let's normalize that. I'm not even going to beg you for multi-factor authentication this time around. Just change the default creds. Everybody can get default creds, okay? Look at default network device passwords. I just Googled it. First result. There we go. Like, oh wait, you're not looking at me. Look at it. Like, here we are. Yeah, let's go back. There we go. Look at here. Like 5 seconds of Googling. 5 seconds of Googling. Googling, excuse me. You got some 3Com technology? We got your admin and password. You're running B-Focus, whatever. Here, let's see if Fortinet is on here or no. Link Gear or what is it? Netgear. Oh, there we go. Netgear. There you go. Netman, no password. Some of these things have no password. So stupid. So anyways, like, welcome to the party. Like, can we just normalize changing default creds? Honestly, I'm like firmly in the camp. I don't know if anyone else is in this camp, and I don't know which congressman to write to or which senator to write to, but can we make it a frigging like regulation that network technology or technology vendors need to make the admin password change on initialization? Nobody just plugs it in and turns it on and walks away. Everybody has to do some level of configuration, some touch. Typically, at minimum, you have to type in the some network information. Can we normalize changing the admin password, or at least having it? I'm willing to even accept a uniquely generated admin password that's on a sticker on the side of the device. A lot of routers do that. I'm okay with that. At least you'd have to have physical access to the box in order to get the admin password, okay? I'm on that. I'm fine. Becky Gaylord got her oil change in a new place Saturday, and the text like, oh, we'll know everything once we connect to the computer. Yeesh. No, wait, that's the wrong sound effect. What would the car data telemetry so hot?
That Hansel's so hot right now.
Thanks to today's episode's sponsor, ThreatLocker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with ThreatLocker. ThreatLocker helps you take a proactive, default-deny approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action, allowed or blocked, for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation are fully supported by their US-based support team. To learn more about how ThreatLocker can help keep your organization running efficiently and protected from ransomware, visit threatlocker.com. That is THREATLOCKER.com.
All right, guess what? All right, guys. Guys, I hope you're having a great show. This Monday, it's been a good one. I'm feeling great, feeling right. Back to work, kind of half back to work, I guess. Next week is obviously way full back to work. We're doing the PBCC class next week. Looking forward to that. Guys, I want to say thank you, all of you. As we close out 2024, it was a banger of a year. We showed up, we showed out, we did the work, we had some fun. Great time. Simply CyberCon. Saw so many people at Wild West Hackin' Fest. New friends. We got long-timers, first-timers, people starting their own channels and producing content. Casually Joseph, Fleetus, so many, Steve McMichael. Just, it's so great to see everybody out here. Abe, Nerman, like, you guys are the best. Thank you. Thank you for making 2024 phenomenal, and thank you for all you do for the community. Guys, shout out to the stream sponsors, Barricade Cyber, Antisyphon. Definitely appreciate that and what they do. Every single Monday is the Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week, where we collectively as a community recognize one member of the community who contributes and does, a little bit more to make sure that everybody has a good one. This is a sponsored segment. ThreatLocker sponsors the Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week. Guys, it takes ThreatLocker takes a deny by default approach to cybersecurity. Just like it takes a village to secure your business, it takes a village to make Simply Cyber the community that is so enjoyable. And I would personally like to recognize the final member of the Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week for 2024, James McQuiggan. Ladies and gentlemen, if you know James McQuiggan, you know how kind and thoughtful and giving he is, how funny he is. James McQuiggan, many of you might know him as James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet. He provides the jokes of the week every Friday. He did every Friday in 2024. Even if he wasn't available, he would send them in advance. He's been a guest host. He emceed track 2 of the Simply Cyber Con. Like, the guy is a legend as far as community service goes. So thank you, James McQuiggan. We recognize you and love your dad jokes. All right, James, get with me and I will get you that Amazon gift card. So can we just collectively as a group, coffee cup cheers, James? Thank you very much. Hope you have a wonderful day. You are appreciated. All right. James McQuiggan with a super chat, 1781. Almost as amazing as the Sands Award you got, Jerry. Honored to be a member of this amazing community. Love you all. Hashtag Team SC. That is your James McQuiggan. That is your Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week. Now, Alpha Sierra, if you wouldn't mind, lead us off in a la 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 la. Everybody knows the words. Let's go. All right. Good stuff, everybody. Everybody knows the words. Let's finish strong and get to jaw jacking.
White House blames telecoms lack security for Salt Typhoon. The White House stated on Friday that, quote, as the U.S. government continues to assess the damage caused by the Salt Typhoon hacks, the breach occurred in large part due to telecommunications companies failing to implement rudimentary cybersecurity measures across their IT infrastructure, end quote. Ann Neuberger, the White House Deputy National Security Advisor for Cyber and Emerging Technology, told reporters that the Biden administration has, quote, further zeroed in on how these companies can improve their cybersecurity, particularly by sharing threat hunting guides and instructions for hardening of systems, end quote. These guides, shared with telecom companies, have unearthed a new victim, bringing the total of affected telecom companies to 9, although the name of this 9th company has not been mentioned. Furthermore, quote, the White House still cannot definitively say the actors have been removed from the telecom networks, end quote.
Dude, just like we wouldn't be able to tell you that Russia's out of the SolarWinds hack, we're never going to know if China's out of the telecoms. Like, the only way to know definitively is if you replace the hardware, okay? And that is, first of all, super expensive. Straight cash, homie. And completely unrealistic, right? Like listen, just for a hot minute, if you will, right? Just think about it. If I gave you infinite money, okay, like nothing cost anything, you can do it. I need you to replace all the hardware. It would still take you like probably years to replace the network and IT infrastructure of a like AT&T or Verizon. So like it's not even about money. It's so I do find it interesting that like the stories have already started of like pointing fingers and not our problem. Like, you suck. That's what's happening here. The White House is like, you telecom companies, you've had such crappy security. You're the reason. Okay, I'm not huge on big government. Okay, big pharma, big commerce, big government. All right, but like, some minimum regulatory standards could be good. Remember, though, here's the reality. GRC Mafia recognize you will always have risk no matter what you do. You can limit the amount of risk. You can make it less risky. You can reduce the likelihood of an incident occurring. You can reduce the impact of when it is realized. You can ensure that you can recover quicker. But you can never get rid of all risk. Okay, that's just a fallacy that you're able to like have zero risk. That's why anytime any CISO says we are unhackable, they immediately get hacked. Okay, and we haven't seen that since like the early 2000s because CISOs are smart now and they're not fools like they were back then. But dude, China is a nation state capable level threat actor. They are very good at infiltration and espionage in the cyber domain. So they would have got in. So I don't know. Like, I feel like kicking the telecom companies and being like, oh, your basic security measures sucked. It's like, okay. Like, what did you expect? Like, InfoSec is a cost center. If the telecom companies aren't forced to do anything, then maybe they're not going to. Now, personally, I think it's a bit of hot trash if the telecom companies did not have basic security controls. But like, let's talk about what that is, okay? Because the title says lacked basic security measures. Basic, okay? When I hear basic, I think of, I mean, that's very subjective, okay? We could go a couple different routes. We could say, to make it easy, we could say like CIS 18 implementation guidance level 1 is basic, which even that still includes pen testing. Okay, so is that basic? Number 2, we could say CMMC or 800-171, the 22 or 26 controls that are required via NIST 853. Maybe. Or there's some other subjective group of controls that were to be defined as basic. But, I find this a bit of an indictment on these telecom companies to say they lacked basic security controls because who decided that? Now, I do want to see really quickly, again, I don't research or prep for these, so I don't know what controls they didn't have in place, but I'm kind of curious. It was okay. So in one incident, it was found that the attackers obtained creds to one admin account that had access to 100,000 routers. Okay. Like, what do you want? Here's the deal. Like, okay, so they got one administrator account, and they're saying that it's basic security controls. Problem is that the admin had 100,000 routers access. Guys, what are you talking about? Like, now if the password for the admin account sucked, that's a problem. But here's the reality. One, it could have been a really good one, and they got it with something like I don't know, Mimikatz or a phishing or something like that. Two, you can't expect your network engineers to use different passwords on all the devices. That's ridiculous, okay? Third, multi-factor authentication into networking devices doesn't happen typically, right? Now, firewall or a VPN concentrator or some type of Citrix gateway, yes, you could put multi-factor authentication in front of that. But like your internal network infrastructure, your non-public routable network infrastructure, you're not going to put multi-factor authentication on that, okay? So, first of all, I wouldn't say this is basic. Now, like I said, if this was a basic password, then that's different. Like if they were able to guess it, that's different. Next thing they say here is the group erased logs of their actions. Okay, and the logs did remain were inadequate for determining the size and scope of the hack. So now, okay, this is a real security control. I would never, ever put it in the basic category. The control that is missing here, shout out to NIST 853, and this is going to be a super deep cut if I'm able to guess this one. That's how uncommon this control is. What they're saying is a duplication of telemetry logs to an immutable server or to some other server. So the idea is you have logs are pushed somewhere, and then the logs are duplicated. That way, if they get deleted from the server, you still have other ones. Now, it is possible if you had a SIM for those logs to go over to some type of SIM storage. That is a regular control and a common control. But just like having a backup of your logs somewhere else, that's like data backups, that's a bit uncommon. If they didn't have logs going to a SIM, that is problematic. Okay, that would be a major issue. Yeah, I'm just looking at more of the impact. Let's see. The White House has outlined 4 areas where telecom companies can improve: configuration management, vulnerability management, yep, network segmentation, and sector-wide information sharing. Okay, so let's break those down really quickly. Config management. Configuration management is basically ensuring that they make changes in production that are communicated and controlled. I don't know if that actually is going to stop any of the impact that we just saw. Vulnerability management, yes. Patching things would be a good idea. Reducing your attack surface would be a good idea. But if you get an admin account that's valid credentials, vulnerability management doesn't stop that. Network segmentation, yes, this is more zero trust architecture type stuff. Network segmentation is a great technical control. It's basically putting in bottlenecks everywhere so you can't like traverse a flat network. And then sector-wide information sharing. Let's see. Whoops. Give me 1 second. Just let me Google this really quickly. If there was only an ISAC for telecommunications. If only there was an ISAC for telecommunications. Good thing the White House is making this a thing, like a priority. If only there was a ISAC for telecommunications.
HIPAA to be updated with cybersecurity regulations. Additional news from Ann Neuberger's Friday press conference reveals that new cybersecurity rules covering how healthcare institutions protect user data will be proposed under the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. Neuberger described this as the first update to HIPAA's security rule in over a decade and will require entities who maintain healthcare data to encrypt it. In addition, quote, healthcare entities also will have to monitor their networks for threats and do compliance checks to see whether they are abiding by the new HIPAA rules, end quote.
All right. Hey, I don't know if you guys know, I used to work in healthcare for a number of years. I think I worked in healthcare for like 5 or 6 years. I was at an 800-bed academic medical center that, has like, and now it has like, 5 or 6 or 7 different locations. There was probably like 25, 30,000 employees, multi-billion-dollar revenue. And it was a functional university, so I had higher ed in there too. Wonderful experience. Listen, if you're looking to get an unbelievable amount of cybersecurity experience in the shortest amount of time, also, if you're like, you won't be able to decouple these things, but if you're into getting gray hair and aging faster than your body would normally age, may I recommend working in healthcare cybersecurity. You get exposed to a lot of wild and interesting situations. Jesse Johnson can attest to this. He's just gotten in there. I'm telling you, dude, healthcare cyber is a wild place, but you can get leveled up really quickly. Now, let's talk about HIPAA. First of all, let's debunk a couple myths. Number one, when you work in healthcare, HIPAA is not really, it's important, right? And you want to comply with HIPAA and you'll do the end user awareness training. But let me tell you this, from a cybersecurity perspective, HIPAA is like 8th on my list of things that I care about as a CISO of a healthcare facility, right? It's important. Compliance is important. Don't get me wrong, okay? But like in the grand scheme of things, it is not a cybersecurity standard. It is designed to protect patient health information from leakage or data breach and the use of it, okay? The number of controls that apply to be HIPAA compliant are such a subset of what an actual cybersecurity program needs for basic cyber hygiene and basic cyber resiliency that it's ridiculous. We can do a little bit of a crosswalk. I don't have it right now, and it would be like an exercise to do, not during daily cyber threat brief. But I'm telling you, if you work in healthcare, share your thoughts in chat if you don't mind disclosing that information. But it's just, it has to do with access. It has to do with access mostly, okay? But like the way end users are running around, the way that you are building your networks, vulnerability management, patch management, exposure, surface management, like onboarding, offboard, like end user awareness training, privileged access management, like risk, oh my God, risk assessment. Like none of those things are up in HIPAA's face. So for HIPAA to get an update is not just, and I think, by the way, HIPAA came out in like 1996. Okay. The world in 96 was a much different world. Okay. So to say HIPAA needs an update is an understatement. So I am seriously pumped that this one is going to be happening. Now let's see, is there any instances here? The security rule under HIPAA was published in 2003. Maybe I'm getting confused with FISMA. HIPAA law. When was HIPAA first? Yeah, no, I'm right. HIPAA 96, okay? All right, I wasn't wrong. Did I tell you, when I pull these like obscure facts out, I like to fact check myself, okay? Yeah, this rule is definitely old. The White House believes the implementation cost of the proposed rule will be about $9 billion in the first year. Straight cash, homie. Okay. Let's see. Is there any insight into like what they want? Here's the reality. Hold on. I want to see what they want. Mods. Jesus. There's a 122-page guide about this. I don't see any instances of like what controls they're asking for in the cybersecurity update. So let me know. But guys, this right here, I'm not mad about it, but this is literally a direct response to the Change Healthcare incident in early 2024. Okay. When Black Cat Alfie ransomware changed healthcare, and it had massive impact where pharmaceuticals couldn't be administered, physicians couldn't be paid, appointments couldn't be made. People were like, patient safety was a real issue. The Change Healthcare attack was massive. Now, there was an Ascension one as well, less impactful, but still serious. CEOs of Change Healthcare had to go testify before Congress. This right here is 1,000% a direct response to show that politicians and lawmakers are taking it seriously and making changes. In this instance, I find it's not just theater. I do find that this is actually going to be impactful. The question is, what cybersecurity regulations are they going to require? How are they going to enforce it? Is there going to be real penalties? Let me tell you something, okay? Little fire marshal bill here. Let me tell you something. Here is the reality of this, okay? This is another thing that you will never hear in a textbook or a classroom, but you're going to get it here from me right now. Non-compliance with HIPAA traditionally can result in financial penalties and put on the HHS OCR, or Health and Human Services Office of Civil Rights, wall of shame, the data breach portal. First fact, being on the data breach portal is no longer a big deal. No one really goes and checks it. Back in the day, it used to be a really big, black mark on your, it used to be really bad for your reputation. Nowadays, doesn't even matter. Second of all, HIPAA, HHS OCR, I have only ever seen them impose financial penalties on organizations that had suffered multiple breaches where they were like so egregious that they were basically doing a double middle finger to HHS. Okay, so let me repeat that. You have a data breach, HHS OCR comes in and they're like, naughty, naughty, naughty. You should improve your cybersecurity. And you're like, oh, we will. And then you try to improve your cybersecurity and you have another data breach. HHS just comes back in and goes, naughty, naughty, naughty. And there's really no motivation or incentive for you to change anything. The few instances where I've seen major financial penalties, company got hacked for not having basic stuff. HHS OCR came in and said, whoa, this is a hot mess express. And they said, yeah, we know. We're going to try to do something about it. And then like a month later, 2 months later, 6 months later, they get hit with another major breach. And they're like, same thing happened. You didn't do anything. And they're like, yeah, nothing really happened. Like, nah. That's when they hit them with a financial penalty. So basically the idea here is if you just do the basic bare minimum fall forward, HHS OCR won't really penalize you. And when you don't have penalties, then what is the incentive to change anything? So you can put your cybersecurity regulations, you could say, oh, you got to be compliant with NIST 853, moderate baseline. And no one does it. And if all they do is wag their finger at you, no one's going to continue to do that. Okay? Yeah, exactly. Mara Levy says people mistakenly believe you can be HIPAA certified. That's another great myth. No one's HIPAA compliant. Like, you can try to be, but there's so many moving parts and so many things in healthcare that HIPAA compliance is not really achievable, right? If a physician FaceTimes a patient, that's a kind of a HIPAA violation technically, right? Because they're not using approved secure channels. It's an out of band thing. You could say, well, it's a physician's phone. Yeah, but like it's their personal phone, or like Maybe their phone is configured to push pictures up to iCloud automatically. So now you got all sorts of stuff. All right. So it looks like, oh yeah, that's another huge myth. Maximum compliance equals minimum security. That's a fact. Maximum compliance equals minimum security. Chris Whitlock did find, it looks like, what these new rules are, including requiring the use of multi-factor authentication, require network segmentation, require separate technical controls for backup and recovery. All right, we'll see. Good stuff, Chris Whitlock. Thank you.
Pro-Russia hacking group targets Italian sites, including airports.
Mamma mia.
The group, No Name 57, has launched a new series of DDoS attacks against Italian infrastructure, targeting the websites for Malpensa and Linate airports, both near Milan, as well as the site of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Turin Transport Group. According to Security Affairs, the attacks have had no impact on airport operations. The hacking group stated on its Telegram channel that the attacks were their response to what they call Italian Russophobes. Palo Alto.
All right, really quickly, since they did mention Milan.
That Hansel's so hot right now.
Oh my God. So funny. Yeah, whatever, dude. This no-name threat actor group is basically a hacktivist group. And Italy was talking trash about Russia. So they hacked them. Took down their website, messed up with their airport and stuff like that. Guys, if you're looking for a case study in hacktivism in 2024, soon to be 2025, this is it right here. Hacktivism is a whole threat actor group that you got to be worried about. They are ideologically motivated. You don't see them all that often. It's usually associated with some hot button topic like pro-life, pro-choice, drilling in North Dakota and on indigenous lands, a war, okay, xenophobia, etc. This is what they're doing. This Italian group was talking trash, I guess, about Russia, and they basically hit them with a cyber attack. Did a denial of service campaign. I've never heard of No Name 57 as a Russian threat actor group. Doesn't mean that they didn't exist for a while, but this is what's up. If you do want to manage denial of service attacks, there are services. Cloudflare, namely, is like the most well-known one that can help you mitigate denial of service attacks. So, you know, basically this Italian airport is not, you know, the website doesn't help them fly planes or do air traffic controller stuff. But if a majority of their services are provided through the website, then you'd have to be mindful. You'd have to think that the website's almost more like, oh, here's arrivals and departures and stuff like that. So maybe limited impact and more of kind of a terror attack, like scaring people like, oh, the airport. But really, if you think about the impact of a website for an airport going down, at least in my limited experience in the United States, like if you know, Charleston International is my preferred airport, right? So if the website went down, I might not even know, right? Because nowadays, like, I don't know about you guys, but like you have the American Airlines app on my phone, and like it tells me my flight's leaving at such and such time, and I drive to the airport. I pay for parking. That's not through the website. I, you know, go in and look at the board. That's an internal network system, right? So I think the impact is limited, and it's more just to scare people.
Networks fixes high-severity PAN-OS flaw. This flaw, which has a CVE number and a CVSS score of 8.7, could trigger denial of service on vulnerable devices, allowing an unauthenticated attacker to reboot the firewall by sending a malicious packet through its data plane, forcing the firewall into maintenance mode. The vulnerability affects PAN-OS versions 10.anything and 11.anything, but can be exploited only if DNS security logging is enabled.
All right.
Remember.
All right, couple things here. Number one, you gotta patch it. All right, so this is the same bug or, you know, weakness that we talked about on Friday during the bonus time. DJ BSEC brought it to our attention. If you're running Palo Alto, You want to patch this, and they include all of it in the story write-up. Here's the reality, though, about this one. First of all, it's interesting because basically the attack flips it from production mode into maintenance mode, which results in the device not working correctly. So you get a denial of service attack. Yes, it can be impactful if packets aren't flying, but it sounds like it's trivial to correct. You flip it back into production mode. Now, that obviously the threat actor could do it again. It sounds like also you have to have this DNS configuration. I didn't catch it fully, but it sounds like a DNS feature that has to be enabled. So now the population of vulnerable systems are even further filtered down to vulnerable systems that also have this configuration, that are also internet facing, that can also be attacked by this individual. So the EPSS score is 11%. So if you have this vulnerable system in your environment configured to be vulnerable, there's an 11% chance that you will get exploited in the next 30 days. That's not nothing, okay? I mean, that is pretty good, but I do think that is you don't have to go in over the weekend, but you should prioritize it during your regular patch management cycles and stuff like that. So you got to patch it.
You gotta patch it.
For the sake of time, since we're over, I'm just going to bounce on this one. Let's go. Or as Dak says, here we go. All right, guys, holler at ya. We had a banger of an episode today. Don't go anywhere, because we are going to be pivoting to jaw jacking. But this has been episode 781, December 30th, 2024 of your Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief. It was an absolute delight to bring the news to you today, recognizing James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet. The chat was banging today. Looks like people are back to work. 345 of you glorious people. If you want to pay it forward, please share with a friend that we're here doing it every day, and we'll be doing it again in 2025. Don't go anywhere as we pivot to jaw jacking. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Thanks so much, and until next time, stay secure. Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jaw Jacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some jaw jacking. Yo, what's cracking, everybody? This is Jerry Guy. I am hosting your jaw-jacking segment the next 27 minutes or so. Me and you and Robert DeSirens and James McQuiggan, Triple D, Valentino, Kerry, Z-Myth. We got the whole MOG crew in here, DJ BSEC behind the glass. We're going to be answering as many of your questions as we possibly can, potentially having a couple laughs, talking about the weekend and stuff like that. I'm Jerry. This is a really chill, super fun segment that we do every single day following the Daily Cyber Threat Brief. So if you're new here, welcome to the party, pal. So what's cracking, everybody? I did take a picture and shared it on social media. I'll share it with you all right now. This is my studio. So if you're wondering what it takes to deliver this show, this is my console, okay? You can see the coffee's there, obviously super important. We got the actual presentation layer at the bottom, and then the top monitor here, these four screens. This is the production and operations. So the top right is Restream. This is where we're delivering the show. This is OBS, where I'm making it look right. Here's Mod Chat, where the mods help me. And then here is Spotify. Getting a little Weezer love, Mara Levy. This is Spotify, where we do the audio and all that stuff. So I just want to share with everybody, it is not trivial to deliver this, but it is a lot of fun delivering it, and certainly enjoy that. And also shout out to all of you. This is you right here, guys. I always put this in the teleprompter right there. This is all of you in looking in tux. See, Alpha Sierra's right here. We got some folks, ZMF right here. Sean Sailors, we got tuxedos, dresses. You guys look great. Wading through logs is right there. The second row, back right. Very nice. All right. All right. So what else we got, y'all? Let me answer questions. It is a 49-inch ultra wide, and it is disgusting and it is beautiful all at once. I don't typically I don't want to say spoil myself, but like I typically don't, but this is amazing. I got to tell you. Oh, it's so good. All right. Well, so what kind of questions can I answer, folks? Yeah, swims with sharks. You guys look great. I appreciate you putting on the black ties. All right, so King Victor B with the first question that I'm seeing. Hi, Jerry. Hold on, let me. He says, "Hi, Jerry. I was wondering if it's compulsive to know how to code as security analyst. I'm learning the basics of Python, but just wanted to hear your take." Compulsive. I don't know if that's the correct word you're trying to use. Like compulsive to me would mean like you feel like you don't have a choice. You gotta you're driven to learn it. I will tell you, as far as programming goes, doing cybersecurity, you can have a successful cybersecurity career and not know how to program. I will tell you, it does help. Python is a great language to learn if you're trying to learn one to help you be, a cyber practitioner. The second thing I would point out, and to make you feel a little bit better, King Victor B, once you learn one programming language, learning others it's much easier because you're learning kind of the paradigm of programming. You're learning about control loops. You're learning about variables. You're learning about instantiation of objects. You're learning about functions and compartmentalizing. You're learning about importing libraries and stuff like that. Whether you do it in Python, Go, Rust, Java, C++, like a lot of the design of software is portable to other languages. So you're doing the right thing. I would encourage you to get some basic fundamental Python. And the final thing I'll say is it's very, very useful to have an actual case study. Like try to solve a problem using Python. Don't just learn this is what a variable is. This is what a data structure is. This is a control loop. You need to understand. You need to have a point to it. All right. Robert says, when is it too many monitors? Never. Never. I love it. The pain is in the balcony. All right. We see you up there, the pain. We'll shoot one of the t-shirt cannons up there. David P says, put the aerial FedEx picture took for the audience pick. Oh, that's a great idea. That is a great idea. Tech Ricky's in here. Good to see you, Tech Ricky. Yeah, Alpha Sierra agrees it's beneficial, not required to learn programming. Taekwon Gong says, hold on, let me move the screen over here so it looks like I'm looking more at you guys than I am looking away. How do you get out of being a perfectionist? I think this has hindered me a bit. Taekwon Gong, dude, a million times over, I'm right there with you. I also used to be a perfectionist. I wanted everything lined up. I was super organized, super structured. Here is the reality, okay? Here's what I would tell you. You're never going to have it you just got to hit record. Do not let perfection get in the way of progress. That's the deal. For me personally, Taekwon Gong, the revelation was I realized I can move forward and kind of fix things on the fly. And it would be better than trying to get everything perfect, because a lot of times you get something perfect and you move forward and then immediately things change, right? Mike Tyson famously said, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. So what I would say is realize that if you try to be a perfectionist, your progress is going to be slowed and you're going to miss out on opportunities. Try to get 80%, right? And leave some variable and then move forward. I'm with you 100% though. I used to be just like that. If anybody else has any thoughts on how to get away from being a perfectionist and let progress rule the day, drop it in chat. Holy crap. John AI is saying Hackers, the movie, is free on YouTube right now. Giddy up on that. We always make fun of Carl that misconfigs something and gets popped. Has anyone ever been that Carl? How do you deal with that? Anxiety getting real, getting into cloud, my number one fear. Okay, so everybody can be Carl. Everyone can be Carl, okay? Nobody, even cyber pros, are not invulnerable to falling for a fish or something like that. All you got to do is realize it, own it, learn from it, use it as a case study if you want to, and keep moving forward. Again, it gets back to Taekwon Gong's thing. Don't let perfection get in the way. Don't think you have to be perfect if you're a cyber pro. You have to be good, but this is why you have to have good detection, recovery, response, like the right of boom, because you want to be able to minimize the impact if you do some misconfiguration or something. And guys, can I just tell you, here's another reality. And Top Hat Cat, get comfortable with this. And hey, I'm going to ask a question that's probably going to prompt a lot of conversation in chat, and it's a fun one. Everybody that works in IT, and this is one of the few times where I will say that like cyber and IT are the same in this case. Usually they're different. Everybody that works in IT has at least one story, one major mess up, one screw up, one, oh my God. Everyone's got that story. Everybody, so much to the fact that when I used to do interviews at MUSC, we would ask candidates, what is that story? What is that mistake? Okay. Everyone's got one. What's yours? Top Hat Cat. I was coding. I was a software engineer a million years ago. I was coding in production for a business application that ran the whole business. Okay, 30-person company, probably a couple $1 million annual revenue business, and I was writing the software for it. And I didn't have a dev environment. I was literally making updates in production, which is a terrible thing to do. And I committed code to production that had a database query that didn't have a join on the tables, which, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it basically is a very, very poor performing hot mess express SQL query. And I brought production down. And because it was a database query running on the back-end database, it's not like you can just reboot it. You have to let the query finish running. So there was no way to like unscrew it. Now, of course, I was the only person in the company who fully understood what was happening. So when they asked me to fix it, I was like Michael Scott in that meme where he's like getting awarded by the president or whatever. I'm like, I'll fix it. Nobody knew that I had caused it. But you want to talk about a cold sweat washing over your body? That's the deal. And cloud's a great place to go to Top Hat Cat. Don't be afraid. Embrace it. Let's see. Augusta Delgado. I got a user who received an email from a data leak, I guess, but basically they're asking for money. What's the question? I got a user. I mean, I would just tell the user to make sure that they change the credentials and put multi-factor authentication on that email. I mean, anyone can email a list. All right. What's the best professional advice you can give someone learning the deputy CISO role? I guess, honestly, for me and my money, couple things, Robert. Number one, I would encourage you to make alliances, make friends with your counterparts, your peers, right? So don't just manage your own team, kind of manage horizontally, like CFO, CEO, CIO, depending on the size of your organization. Having a deputy CISO, you're probably a larger organization. Go and make friends with them, and don't just be like, hi, I'm the deputy CISO. Hello. No, like try to understand like what drives them. What is their agenda? What is their motivation? And then try to embrace that, because it's just like networking, Robert. You want to understand them and provide value to them, because at some point, someday, some point, you're going to need their help. And if you've already established rapport, if you've already put in good will and stuff, you'll have political capital and be able to do that. Second thing I would recommend, manage down. Now, I personally don't like managing people, but I've had to do it. manage down, make sure you're listening to your staff. Make sure that they are getting what they need. To me, the role of a CISO or a manager, in addition to like getting money and building the program and everything, is to make sure that your staff has what they need in order to achieve their job outcomes, right? What do you need? What do you have? What challenges are you doing? What, you know what I mean? Like, manage down, because your team will work hard for you if you support them. Hopefully that helps. All right, what else we got here? Tech Ricky says, if if you've never brought down production without wanting to, are you even in IT? Oh my God, so true. So true. Dude, I'm telling you, when I ran that query and I realized what I did.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
I do want to say I appreciate everybody in chat who's offering guidance to Taekwondo Gong and to the larger community about dealing with perfection. It's definitely a thing. Carrie Tyler knocked out the internet for an entire college when she bumped a fiber cable at a data center. There you go. It happens, Carrie. I love it. Brews and Hacks. I removed a long list of firewall rules. Oh my God. I appreciate all of you. Dude, such a great share. It's such a great share. By the way, if you're looking for like an icebreaker at like a meetup or something, asking that question's a good one. Elliot pushed unfinished POS code to production that took down 60 stores. What a Friday. Oh my God. Oh my God. All right. Oh, Augusta lost prod backups. Egg Drew says, what's the funniest, wildest brought down production you've ever heard of during an interview? Oh my God. That's a great question. I'd have to think about that one. I don't have one off the top of my head. Oh, there's been so many though. EK Burger caused the core L3 switch crash at 10 a.m. Whole company out for 30 minutes. Yeah, that's bad. The Pain says when he was a graphic designer, he was tasked with making a website for a local marathon. 4 designs, 3 good. 1993 looking awful. Oh, very cool. Go back in the Wayback Machine and see if you can find it. What are some of the core skills I absolutely have to have on my resume when applying for a junior analyst? Oh, good question. What are some core skills? I would say, depending if you're like doing kind of like SOC stuff, because analyst is like a generic title. So it depends if you're like looking at engineering or, SOC stuff or GRC. But I would include, if you're on the SOC side, some work around like SIM or, detection engineering or tuning, maybe analysis and implementation of like IOC type stuff. Like, again, with resumes, I know that's a junior analyst stuff, but some of these things you can get from a home labs and stuff like that, Jarder. So what I would say is, remember, on a resume, you're not just trying to list things you've done. You're trying to list the impact and the skills you have so the person reading it can understand that you can do that work and deliver impact and risk reduction for them. Soft skills, Spinnerbait says that's a good one. I agree. Like, have you presented? Have you, spoken? What have you done? Like, what initiatives have you done? Like, if you're including that, like, not from work experience, but like, launched and deployed Chris Hidalgo, I believe, created the the public speaking thing. Chris Whitlock's done the study GRC thing. So like including those things on your resume is valuable only because to me, as someone reading that, I'm like, wow, this person took initiative and built something, which to me means I can give you a large problem and I don't have to prescriptively explain to you how to solve it. You can take initiative and figure it out and then come back to me when you have problems. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, to me, time is the most valuable thing, right? So if I give you a problem and you have to be explained step by step by step by step to solve it, that's very time consuming. If I give you a problem and I can expect you to go off and take initiative and then come back and say, hey, like I got, these 3 options, or I did this, this, and this, but one of the things you asked to be done isn't really working. Like, let's talk about it. Let's wrap on it. That to me is super valuable. So hopefully that's good. Obviously, people in chat, please drop your best thoughts on core resume stuff. Scanning chat really quickly. Itching to Learn says, should I do Net Plus or CCNA? I want to be an analyst, but I feel I need to prove my understanding of networking to employers. Okay, so I would tell you this, Itching to Learn. Net Plus, getting the knowledge is great. The certification on your resume isn't going to move the needle, okay? First of all. Second of all, CCNA used to have a lot of sway on cyber resumes. It doesn't necessarily anymore. Now, if you are going to be a firewall engineer or, network engineer, or you're going to be working at a mid-sized company that has Cisco gear, CCNA could have value, but again, it's a vendor specific cert, and it teaches you how to be a network engineer of Cisco technology, not a security practitioner. So, those are the things. What I would say is, get the knowledge of the Net Plus. There's huge value in getting the knowledge of Net Plus, and then, either capture it in your resume somehow, or when you're doing the interview, trust me, like when they ask you a question like, oh, you type in Google in a browser and hit enter, what happens? You don't need to have a Net Plus to show or explain to them that, the request goes down the OSI stack application all the way down to, the network layer where it tries to do DNS resolution. It goes to the DNS server, comes back with the resolution, gets the IP address, goes down, hops through the different intermediary routers, up the backbone, down the backbone, right? Like if you explain all that crap to me, I know that you understand networking. If you say you type in Google and hit enter, what happens? And you're like, the Google web page shows back up because my browser renders HTML. That's my answer. Like to me, okay, like that's fine answer, but like clearly you're missing the entire network piece of it, which tells me you don't understand networking, right? So the knowledge is more important than the cert in this case. Let's keep going. A lot of people enjoying the stories here about people's IT production fails. Nerdpocalypse had an end user take out most of the power in a building. Yikes. That's a good one. I did see one. I saw an interesting one time. Okay, this is a weird one. This was in like the northernmost point in Alaska. They had like a data center, and then right next to the data center was the break room, and it shared a floor. Okay, shared a floor. Now, the way that the sink in the break room dripped out, it basically went down a pipe and then out a pipe to the side of the building and leaked down the side of the building. That was like their plumbing. Okay, well, because it's northern Alaska, it was dripping and it froze at the end. And it froze the hole up. So as it was dripping, it was just filling the pipe. And then it filled the sink. And then it overflowed the sink over the weekend. And then it flooded the floor, which then went over to the data center and began flooding. And then equipment got basically submerged in water because somebody decided to leak a pipe out to the side of the building. So that was kind of an interesting, unexpected one to share. Yeah, Marcus Kyler, that is a great idea. SC Firesides, share your things. Holy crap, not a deep fake. Tribe or Biggie. Wow. Gotta go Tribe there. All right. What's a roadmap for cybersecurity? I guess that question's from Siva over on LinkedIn, but it's for Joe A. There's two roadmaps. I know you didn't ask me, but roadmap You can have a career roadmap progression to get to where you want to go, or you can have a cyber program roadmap. A lot of people taking Biggie. All right, let's do a poll. Start a poll. Biggie or Tribe. Now, I want you to know, the question is, you can only listen to their music and you can never listen to the other one. Okay, so you have to pick one. Dude, Midnight Marauders is such a good album. All right, B-Sec. DJ B-Sec behind the glass is out of here. Definitely appreciate him. All right. What are your thoughts on how an individual can improve on their soft skills? Any trainings out there that come to mind? Not really. I mean, like conferences, engaging with other people. I mean, if you're asking for true 360 feedback from peers, you know, because a lot of times people don't want confrontation, right? So if you say like, oh, how was my talk? They're like, oh, it was great. Even if they thought it was okay. Oh, it was great. Anything you want I could improve? They're like, no, it was good. Right. So like make it okay for them to give you constructive feedback. You know what I mean? That's what I would say there. Let's see. Joe Allen is over on LinkedIn talking to Siva. Just remember, guys, over on YouTube, on the Simply Cyber YouTube channel, there's a lot more going on. If you're watching this on LinkedIn, you definitely can do that. But just know, Rich464 cut the hot water line at a major hotel. Oh. No hot water in a hotel. That's a lot of angry guests. All right. Joe Allen on LinkedIn says, how do you feel about certs to stay current with the integration for AI? I think that's a great idea. AI is so new that, you know, getting certified in it actually probably would have value. And it can at least attest to some level of knowledge. Again, AI is so new that it's hard to qualify how much study you've done in AI. So I think it's actually a cool idea. Larry Shervington, IT project manager for the government right now. Want to position myself for things to go left. Yeah. Do you recommend personal branding class or Sec Plus if I need to pivot? So Larry, again, so I financially benefit from the personal branding class. So there's obviously an inherent bias that I want to be really crystal transparent with. What I would say is your question is very nuanced, okay? It's not necessarily a binary Sec Plus or PBCC. What I would tell you is the PBCC course that I'm teaching next week is a great course, but it'll give you all the tools that you need in order to really establish a personal brand and be able to stand out to employers. But the thing is, Larry, you have to have the time and experience and everything to implement it. This weekend, I was reading a book and I actually read a really great metaphor that is appropriate and perfect for this right here. Going to a doctor, say you don't feel good and you go to the doctor and the doctor's like, yeah, you're sick. You need to exercise once a day and you need to take this medicine twice a day. Okay? And then you don't do that. You're still sick. Just going to the doctor isn't the solution. So just taking my course isn't the solution. You have to take the medicine and do the exercise. You have to follow what I'm telling you in the course. Now, if you have the ability to do that and the conviction to do that, then all day the PBCC course is going to be huge, okay? If you don't, then, you know, please don't take it because it's not even about the money. It's like I want students to have successful outcomes, okay? It's important to me. Now, let's look at the Sec Plus. You're already an IT project manager. You got a lot of experience under your belt. The Sec Plus will be beneficial because it'll help. Even though you have a lot of experience, a lot of times HR will say that the Sec Plus will qualify you through HR. So you could have a banger of a resume, Larry, and then you get application tracking system automatically put into the trash can because you don't have the Sec Plus on there. So I would say the Sec Plus has a lot of value. in that instance. But again, they both have value. It really just depends. Okay. All right. All right. Let's see. Yes, I do struggle. Well, I mean, the thing is, like, I'm not a great salesperson. I'm not out here trying to convert all of you, right? I didn't build a community so I could monetize you all. Like, I do have stuff I sell, but like, that's not what I'm doing here. It's community. I let other people talk about it. I let the outcomes speak for themselves. And at the end of the day, I sleep very well knowing that I'm, making a positive impact. And I'm able to, basically, financially support my family and my lifestyle. Let's see. How are we doing on time? 9:36. I do have to go in a few minutes. I have a 10 a.m. Sean Bailey, what are my thoughts on introductory certs like ISC2CC? I think the knowledge is good that you get in IS2CC. There's thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people with that cert. So basically, because the cert is not diluted, but like it doesn't help you stand out necessarily as a candidate for a job. All right, Joe Allen's coming over to YouTube. We'll see you over here, Joe. All right. Let's see. Looking. Adam V says, have a good day. Thank you, Adam. Oh, cool. Sedanam says that the course helped him land a GRC internship. I'm going to take a W for that one. Nice. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Lara Flores says the classes are great. Thank you, Lara. All right. Hey, Jaquan, over on LinkedIn now. Welcome to the party, pal. All right, let's see. You're awesome. Thank you, Anita. Thank you, Triple D. Whoops. Hold on. You guys are coming in fast now. Mildred says, after taking your GRC course, what else do you think I can add? It depends what you're trying to get. I mean, if you're trying to be a GRC analyst, I actually have a video on my channel. It says GRC portfolio. It's like 3 actionable things you can do. So you can get practical experience and demonstrate it. That's a good one. If you want to get into audit and you've already started doing some of that, you can get the CISA from MySACA. That's a powerful cert. Amish Runaway says, can you switch the course for me to the one I want? No. Amish Runaway. Yeah. If you're fine with, I was going to move you, today. I was going to move you today. And if you want Amish Runaway, I know that like now we're like solving a very specific problem in group chat, but Amish Runaway, if you're fine, since the course costs the same in both instances, I can just move your enrollment over. That way you don't have to get a refund, wait for the money to come back, and then buy the course. Like if you're fine with that, I will just make the enrollment switch on the back end. Let me know. I am Mike says, I got CCNA, Sec Plus, CISA, haven't gotten a cert in the past year. What's next? Well, if you want another cert, obviously get one in the area that you want to focus on. I don't know what you want to do. Pen testing, SOC analyst, stuff like that. You got kind of the basic certs that you need. So I don't know if any next cert's really going to like blow you up as far as job certs. I would say get practical experience, home labs, document it, etc. Network. Start making content. Like, guys, again, I'm not here to like sell the PBCC course, but like, you are awesome. Okay, you're awesome. But people aren't going to know how awesome you are until you let them know how awesome you are. And that's where personal branding comes in. That's where making content, whether it's on YouTube or Twitch, whether it's just LinkedIn posts, whether it is YouTube Shorts, whether it's Twitter, Blue Sky, whatever it is, there is a method to building a personal brand and letting people know how awesome you are. Chris Whitlock is a phenomenal example. Chris Whitlock started Study GRC last year. He's helping tons of people, had lots of great practitioners on his channel, making progress, making impact, loving it. Okay, that's a perfect example. Dan Reardon makes memes and connects with community, and he helps with the Antisyphon Training stuff as like a nerd herder, right? And he that is impactful. Tons of people know about him. Tons of people know what he does. It's awesome. There's so many ways to do it. That's what I would recommend. All right, I do have to get going, guys, because I do have my man Steve McMichael has a 10 a.m. with me, and we're doing something really fun. Okay, we're gonna do lightning round here. CCNA, no, I wouldn't recommend it. Itching to learn, can one land an internship without pursuing a degree? What are some things that help you work around this? Yes, you can absolutely get an internship. An internship is a job that someone comes up with. They define what recs are. A bachelor's degree, minimum requirements, is kind of a deprecated concept. You can get that. You can even have internships where there really isn't an internship, where you just like pitch it to someone as I can help you. What's the difference between the SOC setup and a cyber analyst setup home virtual network? Not really any different. You know, if you're catching telemetry, pushing to a SIM, etc., you're good to go. Taekwon Gong, when am I coming out to Kansas City? I don't know. That's not on the radar right now. I'll be in Orlando in February for Zero Trust World. We'll be doing the show live, Daily Cyber Threat Brief from Zero Trust World. We're going to have a big production. Josh Mason, Kimberly Can Fix It will be there with me. Jaquan, is RMF for cybersecurity for government jobs and private jobs? Yeah, I mean, the risk management framework is more FISMA based and more government. You won't really see people using RMF in private sector. They'll use NIST CSF more than that. Let's see. Spinnerbait, is there a way to move me from GRC from TCM to Simply Cyber? No, there is not. Sorry. It's the same course. It's just one, you pay subscription based to have access. And if you buy it from Simply Cyber, you have forever access. When's your next CCon? Probably November 2025, Terrence Tech. We're still working through the details. I just got my Sec Plus studying CYSA because I want to get into GRC. Should I continue CYSA or go a different direction in order to get to GRC? No, I mean, CYSA is good. I mean, it's not necessarily GRC focused, but there really isn't a lot of GRC focused stuff. You know what? You can look at the Accolade certs, American Flow Hero. They're not currently, my opinion is that the market demand for Accolade certs are going to increase in 2025. I have various reasons to support that I can't share publicly, but Accolade is making entry-level GRC certs. And those, again, you've got to go look at job postings and see what people are asking for. FedEx is a PBCC graduate, alumni, and building his channel. Love it. That's right. Chris Whitlock just goes live. So Amish Runaway, simplycyber.io/PBCC. CJ says, what's wrong with the CCNA? Nothing's wrong with the CCNA. It just won't necessarily help you get a cyber job. CCNA teaches you how to configure Cisco devices in a Cisco network, routing protocols, dealing with multiple devices. It does teach you how to secure the device, but it's not a security cert. It's an IT cert for network engineers. So it's good, but all right. Mildred says, where's Mildred? I just saw Mildred. Mildred, how do I access that PBCC thing? Okay. Check this out. And then I'm going to go. Okay. Look this is it right here, Mildred. It's not a course. It's a YouTube video. Why does my video look like I'm on fire? Has anyone got any thoughts about this? Is this like a resolution issue with my computer? Does it look the same? It looks the same on both monitors. It's like a browser issue. I don't know what this is. Anyways, Mildred, this is it. No registration required. No registration required. Nothing. You can just giddy up on it. Okay. All right, guys, I got to go for reals. It's been fun. This is Jaw Jacking. I was your host, Jerry Guy. Love it, love it, love it. Guys, It's been fun. Thank you for a great Monday. We'll be back tomorrow, Tuesday, for the final episode of 2024. Shout out to the mods, Justin Gold, Casually Joseph, Chris Whitlock. Jenny was here earlier. Kimberly Can Fix It was here. DJ Bisek was behind the glass. Definitely takes a village. Josh Mason was here. Thank you guys. Be good to each other. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Bring a friend, everybody. Peace.